Good morning. It is 6:56 a.m. on Wednesday. Yeah, July 28th, 2021. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up more or less. This is 5 more minutes. I say more or less just because I've been moving, slow this morning. Trying to get myself back into a routine of getting up more promptly in the morning, but at the cost a little bit of some sleep. And also there's always that dilemma for me because I do tend to wake up fairly slowly, and take a while to get going, especially if I've gotten up early. So to some extent, the earlier I get up, the less you know, unless I am hurrying myself, which represents a substantial stress addition to my day. uh, I gain less value from actually getting up earlier in many cases because I move enough more slowly that it eats up a lot of the extra time that I would theoretically get from an earlier alarm. But nah, that's what I say is nah. Had a fun session of Dungeons and Dragons last night, though. The party had a nice little, more or less contained side adventure, and it's a concept that I had been sort of toying around with in my head for a while, but it went really pretty well. And uh, I'm not gonna get into the details of it, but it's in the latest episode, which is episode 32 of campaign 2. And yeah, it was fun. All the players seemed to have a good time. Everything worked pretty well, and I felt good about it. Which I feel like I kind of want to just comment on, because I do sometimes, even when something goes well, this is a common feeling amongst a lot of creative people, and I think that it can sometimes be a sign of DM burnout type of feelings, of just sort of feeling a little bit hollow after episodes. And bear in mind, this is not unique to D&D or to me or any of that sort of thing. This is something that a lot of performers can sometimes deal with. Is you get this high of the performance, and then when it's over, there's kind of this nice sort of come down, but then it gets to a point where, okay, and then you go back home and it's all over, and all of those chemicals are leaving your brain, and that feeling can be pretty empty. And I don't want to overstate that, except to just say that this particular episode kind of felt like it went well enough that it kind of let me, I don't know, I just was sort of able to bypass that a little bit. I didn't really plan to talk about this, so I don't know that I have my thoughts organized in any kind of a coherent way. But the point is just that, frequently, many creative people will have, feelings of, the voice that says, it's actually not that good, that sort of thing. And every so often, something goes well enough that you really feel like you're on more solid ground to push back against that voice and say, no, that was good. It was very good. That went well. That was good. And yeah, last night was one of those, so I feel happy about that. Um, the gosh, now now there's the voice in my head saying, oh, see, now that you made such a big deal about it, it's going to turn out there was actually something bad about it that you didn't even realize. But yeah, I've got to go ahead and finish getting ready for work because I'm going back into the office again today, trying to get more into readjusting to that, even though I guess the new CDC guidance is this Delta variant is shifting back. Although that's not telling people not to go to inside places. It's just saying maybe in some areas, where there's high transmission, to start masking again. Currently, that doesn't apply where I am in Massachusetts because we only have so-called moderate transmission right now. But yeah, you know what? It was mostly only outside that I found masks to be unbearable anyway. So, um, and I don't know, it wasn't even unbearable. It was just, I don't mind masks that much. So if we go back to that, that's I don't think as big a deal for me. I think it was only one of those things where I get so frustrated with people who act like, oh, sure, in May you tell us one thing and now you're telling us something else. And it's like, yeah, because the situation changed. It's not like, oh, they were wrong before and maybe they're wrong now. It's like, no, the situation changed. It's a little bit like saying, um, hey, there's a fire in the trash can at your office building. And someone says, do you need to evacuate the whole building? It's like, well, no, we can probably put the fire out. But then if the fire, you know, uh, you know, turns out when they go to put the fire in the trash can out, and turns out, oh no, it actually spread to the curtains, and now there's a whole room on fire. They might come back and say, okay, we do need to evacuate the building because the fire has spread. And people say, oh, what? You know what? Come on, before you said I didn't need to evacuate, now you say I do? Like, yeah, because the situation changed. Anyway, I don't know. I'll leave it there for now, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.